And we are live! Greetings, my fellow hunters, and welcome again. Welcome again to a very short time after our last podcast, thankfully. Agreed, guys?
Agreed.
Yeah, it's good to see you again. Sorry.
And might I suggest we have some very interesting news for anyone that has not gotten the memo just about 2 days ago.
Yes, we've waited months for this, and it finally appears after long waiting.
The shadow of the Erdtree is among us.
And soon we will basically be seeing quite a few things, hopefully.
Still gotta wait a few months for it to come out, though.
Yes, but before we get into that, I am the Old Hunter. I'm basically the host of the show.
I am the Darc VA, a local VA artist who loves to voice act Dark Souls content.
Oh, hello, I'm the Knight of Green, Soulsborne martial artist and dinosaur guy, making an animation, and it's almost done. Yay.
Congratulations. Oh, did you use my voice did you still have my voice?
I still have it. It's gonna be a while before we can put it out, but yeah, no, it's still being used.
Oh, thank goodness. I'm glad you like my voice. Anyway, so, gentlemen, you heard the news that came out, a couple of days ago?
Oh, yes.
Yes. How long has it been? Hasn't it been a year, 2 years since Elden Ring came out? Since February last, 2022?
I'm pretty sure.
Man, we've waited 2
But
years. Sorry, go on.
Right now, Elden Ring was released. 2 years ago.
So
2 years. 2 years, but it's only two. Well, I guess it's 1 year and 2 days less from now because it was released on the 20th of February.
that's nitpicking details. It's been 2 years since Elden Ring.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2 days until 2 years, but still, dang, I didn't know Elden Ring was that old. I mean, I'm not saying it is like an old game, but
no, but it
doesn't really feel like it's been 2 years.
No, it feels like only been a year since Elden Ring was released, and it's still a great game.
And people are still playing the ever-loving love out of it.
Hey, considering the fact that basically it was one of the games that broke the internet, mind you, and that basically it caused other games to be shunted off to obscurity, if anybody remembers...
Horizon.
Okay, sorry, give me a second. It's since the Horizon... Correct, hooray!
Remember all those devs that were mad that the HUD elements, like, Elden Ring hub is so bad. Look, this is how I would make it.
Yes. And that got me the ever-loving hell out of.
Give me a second. Friends texting me. Apologies. I know. You two keep going on, and I will...
By the way, Green, to talk about what do you think you expect of this trailer, might we ask? Because I have already seen it.
Same. I've already seen it too several times. One of the things that I'm really excited for was I saw a glimpse of it, but there are these weapons called dueling shields, which are like basically imagine great shields except with spikes coming out the top and the bottom of it. And those are actual historical weapons that people, fought with, which I'm really excited. I was like, oh, okay. Did From Software open some traditional historical manuals and they're like borrowing from actual combat to see if we can put those in the game? So that's what I'm excited for.
I'm very excited for the upcoming bosses and the music that accompanies it. Now, remind you, when I have listened to the music here, I listened to the motif and little bits of the song being played in the trailer, and I got slight notes that were very similar to Gale's theme in Dark Souls 3.
Did you say Gale?
Yes, Gale.
Jesus, if that's the case, then I'm dreading the fight we're gonna fight in Gale all over again.
Oh, no. He'll probably be much harder.
I just got bad timing. Sorry, a friend is having some problems right now, and she's very angry. I don't know.
It's fine.
Yeah, but anyway, I think the point is that we're going to basically be talking about a series that, let's face it, we are basically big fans of as both the Souls fans and as Elden Ring fans. You know, I kind of like it that the Soulsborne community, despite it being different games, is a nice mashup of things. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
Think of it like this. Think of like Blizzard's games, for example. Activision games, for example. Call of Duty, Overwatch. You don't have many overlaps with them, do you?
Well, it depends on what time frame we're asking.
Fair point. But anyway, I think we have enough dilly-dallying for now. We've got a trailer to read and an article to read that Miyazaki himself read.
Oh, yes. We very much do.
I think dilly-dallying is enough, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So,
shall we, gentlemen?
Before you do that, I would like to note that, as usual, that just to point it out so that way nobody accuses me of hiding the information. All necessary links are, as usual, down below. The IGN article, which we'll be reviewing, will be in the descriptions, as well as the links to the Elden Ring Shadows of the Erdtree DLC trailer. So please note that the original information will be linked down below. So don't say I didn't link anything. Okay? Okay. Shall we? Fantastic. Okay, so I pause it right
Pure
here.
and radiant, he wields love.
So go back to when we saw that opening part. Yeah. I knew it from the start that this would be how we enter the DLC.
Everyone did. Everyone knew that this was going to be the way.
Actually, some people thought we weren't going through there because Moog is a bit of an out of the way boss, and From doesn't normally do that with their DLCs. Because think about it.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Yes,
they do.
I did
Dark
point out
Souls 1.
Dark Souls 1, where you have to basically get this. But the thing is, Seath was not an optional boss. He was still mandatory to complete the game. The item you needed was basically the golem. But besides that, Seath was a main stage boss, so it was almost hard to get it. Anyway, so it's glad to know that the fan theories that Miquella's hand is what we're going to basically use to get into the DLC. So good thing I killed both Moog and Radon, right? Right, guys? You didn't kill Moog, did you?
No, I did. I
You
just
didn't
don't think that's going to matter.
Yes, anyway. Let's carry on.
Yes, let's carry on.
Radiant, he wields love to shrive clean the hearts of men. There is nothing more terrifying.
Whoa, pause it. Look at that. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's about to get a whole lot more beautiful for us. Just let us continue.
Sorry, I just couldn't help myself.
Oh, I know. See, look at that. Grapes.
Just like in the gameplay.
Very same Erdtree that we
Oh, hang on.
burned down from the very beginning.
Hang on. I'm getting a little static here. But yes, finally we get to see the shadow of the Erdtree. Beautiful, is it not? Look, a veil. There is a veil on the tree. And look, it's almost like the tree is charred, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Now,
creepy.
here's my question. What ending do you think caused this? There were technically 4 endings.
Frenzied Flame? I don't know, by virtue of the tree looks all
Yes,
gnarled.
it looks more like
up.
the Frenzied Flame has
Nah,
caused it.
the frenzy flame burnt the damn thing to the ash. So I definitely.
Yeah, but then again, you got to remember there was also a bunch of ass in the actual kingdom. Whenever you, how would I say, wake up?
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Also find it weird because lore-wise, what was it? They buried an entire civilization and they summoned the 3 fingers, literally the thing that causes the frenzy flame. They just bury it right underneath Erdtree capital. Like, I don't know. That'd be like, I have this really precious thing, but it's very flammable. Puts it next to an open fire. Oh no, why is it on fire?
Let's also not forget this is the same thing that basically tries to stomp out that opposes anything of the Erdtree. But anyway, let's continue.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that armor looks sick.
In that forsaken place, blood must spill. Blood of your fellows. The Erdtree faithful.
They were never saints.
Oh,
They
pause
just
it.
happened to be on the losing side of a war.
That is a... Am I getting Fire Giant deja vu with that thing? Or even worse?
Well, yes, but what I'm getting over here is I'm getting Wicker Man vibes from looking at this thing. A giant thing built out of... In fact, you know what? No. Strange enough, I'm getting a Dark Souls 2 vibe off of this.
You too?
Yes. Remember the one in the giant poisonous cavern? That guy?
I didn't play the DLCs.
Oh, well, it wasn't a DLC.
Well,
Giant poison.
it's hard to distinguish because
The
there's...
rotten?
No, that thing. The Rotten's too small. You know, if you think
The
about
Dirty Colossus would be my vote
maybe
from Demon Souls.
If you think about it, If you think about it, this thing wouldn't be even be possible in Dark Souls in any of the Soulsborne series.
From the way I'm looking at it, it does all these arms and such reaching out of it. It reminds me of both, I would say, a Bloodborne boss and also the Rotten boss from Dark Souls 2, but on a much bigger scale.
If you think about it, this thing is just horrifying because that's just if you think about it, this is basically like how in Celtic traditions they would burn prisoners in order to appease the gods. Maybe this is what it is.
Exactly.
So maybe this is just people they stopped. I wouldn't want to imagine how many people's being stuck in there, being burnt alive and being not counting that, mate. Maybe we can get the boss zone and figure that out. If I think this is a boss zone,
100.
let's just not imagine how many people they've put in there. And maybe it'll have a cool effect that if as the longer it battles, the more it burns the area and leave a permanent mark. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what it looks like, and whenever it's walking, it's burning the field.
Imagine if this was basically a permanent effect on the world. That this is like the scars of the battle when you face that thing. It would be fantastic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, guys?
Oh yes, very much.
Anyway, continue.
Agree.
I'm glad you guys agree with me.
Mm-hmm. Now, let us see what this thing has in store for us.
So an enemy that does death blight and miracles?
What type of madness is this?
That's going to be annoying to fight, isn't it? You got to worry about being cursed to death, and then basically getting electrocuted to death. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Wasn't there a dragon that could do two of both of these things?
Oh yeah. Wasn't that for Fia's ending?
Mhm.
What? Oh god. But this isn't a dragon. This is just basically an agile enemy. Oh no. This isn't gonna be good, is it?
No, not really.
Continue on.
Mother, wouldst thou truly lordship sanction?
Is this the boss that will be hotter than Melania?
Hang on.
Was this
Whoa, cool!
My goodness. I want to go back to, I would say, that man.
So
Do you think this is Mikola?
No. Mikola's got golden hair. She's got red hair.
No, but that is a guy, though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but the thing is that Mikola was very effeminate. No, he doesn't look.
Who do you think this man is?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe just by the looks of things, maybe he's related to the frenzied flame.
But he has red hair.
But his
Like
eyes,
my-
but his eyes.
Melania.
True, but his eyes are glowing red, golden yellow, like what you do with the frenzied flame ending.
That is true. Well, I'll be looking forward to fighting this boss.
You know, thinking about it, remember Griffith from the Berserk series?
Oh, oh no, I see what you mean.
Yeah, perhaps maybe you know how we basically have to, you know how Griffith basically turned ugly and then basically was reborn to a dangerous being, hell-bent on destroying everything?
Oh, yes.
At the end of the DLC, the real Mikola pops out of the damn cocoon and we fight him at full, a demigod at their full power.
Oh, that's a scary thought.
And remind you, Radon was only at half strength when we fought him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just terrified with that notion.
Me too.
bereft of
Wait,
life.
what do you think of the weapons arts?
Mm-hmm.
So I could see that the reverse gripping swords. It's not that it wasn't impossible, it wasn't really a thing. I mean, it's cool to look at, but really you only reverse grip things like small daggers and stuff for parrying and like stabbing. But, it's cool.
Let me guess, like what Gareth does in The Witcher isn't realistic, is it?
No, he's using long swords, so you wouldn't really reverse grip that.
Fair enough. No, we got 3 viewers today. Anyway, let's continue.
All right.
Throwing daggers. Whoa. Go back.
I didn't know we were getting Sailor Moon powers.
Oh, please don't jinx it. I don't want to have to suddenly see Sailor Moon cosplayers all over Elden Ring now.
Oh, hey, From Software, if you hear this, please do that. That'd be funny.
And From Software hears this. Don't do that.
Oh, no, it's funny. Do it.
Ignore my co-host. He's a little...
But nevertheless, very pretty colors and beautiful visuals, nevertheless.
I think a bit different from what our usual magic is. It's either blue, yellow, red. So blue for sorceries, red for fire, yellow for lightning.
Yeah. Well, what do you think pink is meant for?
Maybe.
Destruction?
Maybe. Oh, Dragon Ball Z reference. Oh, don't get in there. I
You
also
can't tell,
saw.
but I have a very big grin on my face.
Yes, I can see through that. Anyway, continue.
All right.
Just imagine this spell in the arena.
Oh, did you just see that monk style sort of thing?
Yes.
That's cool.
That's good.
They just take in the Sekiro. They take in the Sekiro combat arts. And be like, all right, guys, run out of ideas. What do we do? Let's take the old things we've already made and put them in the DLC.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And as I always like to tell my compatriots, From Software has always been economic when it comes to its content.
Yeah, it's always wanted to reuse assets. I mean, hell, the people in the frozen mountains, when they spew out the flames out of their head, they have the same animations as Smo from Dark Souls 1.
They have the same. They have visually the same looking armor set. So yeah.
Yes, as well. Not to mention the Asylum demons.
And
With a few
the
different
Thrall's
animations.
movesets being given to those gargoyle enemies in the catacombs
Oh,
and stuff.
yes, very much indeed.
Like I said, economic with content. Shall we continue? Oh! I like the big boulder. If that's a weapon, that's gonna be funny for strength builds, don't you think?
So either that or the new pot type that they're going to give us, like big pot.
Like big bombs. Imagine.
Big pot bomb.
Well, that's okay. This is gonna just make more gimmick builds, isn't it? This is just basically gonna be. Let's see which can make the most ridiculous, oversized pots.
Yes, most likely.
No, that's gonna be
Alright.
fun.
Let's continue.
I presume you, too, are keen to know.
Okay, here's the Berserk reference. Pause it. There's the Berserk reference with the repeating crossbow that shoots flaming arrows.
Gale shed a tear.
Yes, and I think they reused the same design for Gale's the same.
And might I say, what a beautiful armor set.
Well, we can agree that.
Oh, that armor is absolutely gorgeous.
Well, I can say that compared to Final Fantasy, the armors at least are visually looking nice and not a painful mess of higgly pumps. Did you, on the side note, did you guys see the Tetsu Nomura's design for the Stormtroopers? They were bad. They were just plain old bad.
Careful with treading on water.
Okay, let's continue.
Alright.
Hello? Hello? Am I here?
You're here.
Okay. Darc?
Alrighty.
Is Darc here?
Oh, sorry, my computer lagged there. I'm so sorry for that. Anyways, let's
That's fine.
continue.
Oh,
What
no!
kind Mikula is doing here?
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, pause it. Oh, that's a beautiful. That was a beautiful arena. It looks like. It looks like.
Ooh.
Oh, that looks beautiful, doesn't it?
Reminds me of the ending of Sekiro itself.
Like a combination of both Sekiro and the Bloodborne with Germans. You know, it seems From seems to like this whole area with the whole. See, twice in a row that they did a boss in a fight in an open field of flowers. Honestly, it's kind of dramatic and poetic, to be honest. And if this, I doubt this is going to be the final fight, but damn, does that arena look beautiful. I hope there's a boss in it.
Hmm.
Or it's an arena. Like, come on. I really, since Dark Souls 3 wanted an arena that was just like this.
Fair enough. We can hope. But still, those weapons look fantastic. I can't wait to play around with some more weapons.
I'm gonna see if it's worth doing their movesets in real life if they're not too crazy.
It's dark. Let's hope so. Shall we?
So, but before earlier, no.
Mm.
You guys saw that we can take some of the bear heads and start making incantations with them? Is anyone not scared about that?
I am. I hope
These bears are getting out of hand.
I think
The rune bears are evolving.
I think with the fact that basically it was first dogs, it's still annoying. Now bears are the new list on that one.
Mm-hmm. But I think this goes back because I remember people were saying that the rune bears were eating dragon hearts, so they're actually becoming dragon-like. So I think this is sort of like the
Natural
what if a rune bear ate so many? Yeah, it ate so much that it became more dragon-like, and now it became a dragon head.
So just
I approve.
Just what? Go back a little bit. I want to hear that. Go back a little bit, if you wouldn't mind. I want to just listen to what they say. Okay, here.
Just what kind Mikola is doing here.
Hello? Am I lagging out?
I don't think it's you. I think it's Darc. That is.
Ew. This is good.
Oh boy, I seem to be lagging a whole lot. I do apologize on that behalf.
I'm hardly one to complain. Remember a few years ago when I had bad connection?
Yes.
I'm hardly one to complain about that.
Guess it's my turn now. Alright, well, you want to hear what they have to say? Let us go.
I presume you, too, are keen to know just what kind Mikola is doing here.
Oh no! Remember the watchdogs back in Dark Souls 3? I don't know.
Talking about the what? What was it Pontiff's one?
Yeah, Pontus is watchdogs, so we basically got those things again.
Oh boy. Okay.
Look,
Sorry.
I'm just mad that there's a tree sentinel that's using gravity magic riding a armored boar. Like, there's just a lot going on with that design.
Well, let's be thankful that basically this is going to be the situation all over again with basically... Actually, I don't know what's worse. Tree sentinels with dragon, magic, or basically giant tree... Darc, perhaps maybe you should exit and rejoin the call quickly? Apologies, everybody. We seem to be having technical issues. Never mind. I got it back.
Alright, there we go.
So, yes, it's wondering what kind Mikola is doing here. So let's see about this. Shall we? Darc?
Alright. Alright. I swear to God, if it does this again.
Just... Darc, can I suggest maybe closing it? Close it. Go. Can never have a smooth streaming experience, can we, guys? That's the case, isn't it, always? We can never have a smooth streaming experience, right?
Nope, apparently not.
Oh, turn down the quality. I think that just because it's high definition, just reduce it to at least 720p.
Alright, there we go. I think we are good to go.
Let's go.
Alright.
Mikola is doing here.
Oh, God. Oh, that's even worse than the Potter sounds. Oh, come on, Potter.
Ooh, does
Go
this place
back.
remind you of somewhere?
You mean basically we fought, like, the spirit tree sentinel and all the spirit thingamajig? Go back 1 second to that giant thing with the big porcupines. We could fight a giant monster that is basically a giant mutated porcupine. No, not that.
Ah, yes.
That one.
This thing
Yes.
right here.
Yes.
That looks
horrifying.
like it'll be hard to hurt.
It'll be horrifying.
It reminds me of what was it, the Crucible Knight aspects. So it might be like a monster based more so on how like primordial soup entities. So I think it'd be interesting.
And that thing over there reminds me of a combination of the last giant riding a... Actually, I think that thing is basically... Okay, go on. I think that thing is basically based on a Scottish cryptid. Play it so we can see that the thing with the side.
Was it Doulahan? I believe that's what they're called.
No. That's the Doulahan is headless. It's the It's basically where it's the top half of a human fused with the bottom half of a horse.
Oh.
I think that's what it's inspired by. Just wielding a giant club that looks suspiciously
I'm
like,
just in awe of the battlefield.
which suspiciously looks like something. Actually, actually, let me look it up for a second. Do you mind if I do that? Top half of a human on a horse. That thing reminds me of not a centaur. I think it was Scottish. The Nukavale. Kind of reminds me of that.
The Nuka Valley?
Yeah, it's a monster from Scottish mythology.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, that kind of reminds me of it. In fact, it does kind of remind me of it because the things are connected with water, you see. They supposedly live underwater and come up to grab people to eat. And guess what's in the arena?
Water.
You ding 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 ding, and your prize green. Nothing.
Look, I feel bad for that horse. That horse just is like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be doing this.
Maybe it's a half-dead Nukavale. Who knows? We don't know. We'll figure out when the game comes out in 3 months. Anyway, continue.
Honestly, this battle arena just reminds me of where you fight Darc Eater Midir, and I love it.
Actually, you're right. It does remind me of that Doc. Jesus, I'm horrified now. And once again, just from being economical with its content.
Copy and paste it. Copy and paste it. It will be a waste if we don't use it again.
Yeah.
Those stripped of the grace of gold shall all meet death.
Sure.
Of Mesmer's flame.
Mesmer's
Come
flame.
now. Touch the withered arm and travel to the realm of shadow. I will not be far behind. May we meet again.
Use Crucible armor set! Woo!
Could you repeat that?
I can finally have a use for the Crucible Knight armor set!
You didn't have a use for it till now?
No. As in, he's saying that because you can get the wings now into the wing attack, so you can never do the wing attack that they do.
I can do the wing attack. Remember how the Crucible Knight armor sprout wings and then they fly with that?
Oh, so I do so remember that. I still have some battle scars on that.
Now I can actually use
In the
armor.
base game, you
exactly like it. Woo!
Because you could just wear the armor, but you couldn't do any of the flying maneuvers. Now you could do the flying maneuver.
I thought the armor set was basically. I thought there was an incantation in the game that does that.
No, sadly not.
Nope. They got the tail.
Well, except for the tail.
Except for the tail.
Yep,
but
the tail.
Let's continue watching. There's still some things left. We wanted to see the whole of it, after all.
Shadow of the Erdtree.
Oh, this looks beautiful.
And
oh, that's Mikola. Okay, that looks cool. June 21st. So, gentlemen, 3 months from now.
Yes. But who is this guy?
Well, we'll figure it out once we play that game. Once we get that DLC, we'll figure it out. So,
I also love it how he did a little biblical reference over here with the snake and the tree.
Yeah.
It's a nice little detail.
Details are, it is impressive. So, gentlemen, your thoughts on the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC?
Intriguing.
Fascinating.
I just hope we get another DLC for Elden Ring like what Dark Souls 3 did as well.
Nope, this was supposed to be 2 expansion packs, but they combined it into 1, hence why it took a lot longer. It's going to be kind of sad that once this game DLC is over, it's going to be over. Know what I mean?
Yes.
Well, but looking at the stats, though, like people are saying that the DLC file size was like 60 gigs, so that's like about the size of like a game.
Jesus!
So it's basically going to be.
Did you just, Also, did you see the price
So
of
it's
the
gonna be a
DLC?
big expansion.
It's gonna be big.
Yes.
Did you also see the price of the DLC? 40 smackaroons. Then you know what's the
Well-
reaction? You know what's the reaction to everybody I've noticed? Even my reaction when I first saw it. Not Jesus Christ,
What?
the DLC is expensive. No, it's my goodness. This is gonna be a lot. This is gonna be a lot of content for the game.
Well, see, because people trust From Software when they price things. I feel like it's because From Software has been a trustworthy company for as many years as they've been around.
Speaking. Go on.
With Souls games, so I think when people see that price, it's like, oh, we're gonna get some value for that.
But they've always been poor for the band for the bucks. Hey, Elden Ring was so hyped that it actually lived up to the hype. Remember?
It actually exceeded it.
To the point that basically it was the best game of the year at the time. Actually, it's the best game of the decade, I'd argue. Yes. I'm sure some God of War fans are gonna basically. I've ruffled a few God of War fans' feathers, but I
I
assure
wonder
you,
what also is in the little bit of time we have in this trailer as well.
just the pre-orders. Basically, if you pre-order the DLC, you get the Ring of Mikola gesture. Thankfully, you'll get the game after you get into the game. So at least, unlike other companies, it's only
And look at this, dude.
Mesmer the Impaler. Oh, great!
Mesmer the Impaler, that's
Well-
his name.
At least he didn't call him the Penetrator.
They
All right, even though he has a
were
weird name,
literally
I
biting
like
their
the
tongue.
Penetrator. I like the Penetrator. He's probably the only coolest boss
I
in Demon
love
Souls.
him. I
Let's.
was about to say when everything's a gimmick boss, the Penetrator's like, nah, fam, I'm actually gonna be a real fight.
I would make a joke, but I think it's too painfully obvious to the Souls community at this point, isn't it? So, that's Shadows of the Erdtree. What are your thoughts on it?
Absolutely stunning visuals, great shadow and lighting, and not only that, the movesets and the actual abilities of the game look incredibly beautiful and incredibly deadly, which is what I love about a software game.
One of these days we gotta do a video about. One of these days we should put our efforts into and do a video about all the Berserk references in Dark Souls, just for the heck of it.
That I would love that.
And so, do you guys think that it's worth the price?
Oh yes, for $40. Ooh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
I would pay even more. I would
Yeah,
pay
I
even
would
more,
pay,
honestly.
I'd pay $60.
Exactly.
The fact that I would agree with you guys shows how much we trust From Software, isn't it?
Yes.
Take notes of the games. Please take notes, please.
I mean, if any other game tried this, I'd literally look at them like,
You're mad. But the fact it's From Software pricing it at $60, it feels like it's $40. Yeah, it's basically a bargain for one. They could have easily charged $50 for it, but they just said, 40 is enough considering how big it is.
shoot, you guys remember Bloodborne's DLC? I would have paid twice to 3 times the amount for Bloodborne's DLC.
It was what, $15 for the total
Yes.
thing? I would have paid way for it, honestly.
Yes.
$25. Would you agree with that?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like Bloodborne DLC, like just literally Ludwig and the Holy Moonlight Sword, like that whole thing was literally. I'm like, wow. Wow.
Yeah, it was. I'm kind of glad I'm part
Halen,
of the
you already
Souls-
had chocolate milk.
Yeah, I'm
You
glad
already
I'm
had
part.
some.
Oh, I'm glad we're part of the Souls community, aren't we? But anyway, I digress. We still have one more thing to talk about before we stop for the night. There was actually an interview by IGN for Hidetaka Miyazaki himself, so let's give it a quick watch let's give it a quick one. This was released on the same day as the trailer, so let's see what's going about, shall we?
Exclusive Elden Ring director answers all of our Shadow of the Erdtree DLC questions. From Hidetaki Miyazaki. Bandai Namco surprised fans all over this morning with the trailer of the hotly anticipated followed-up DLC of Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree. I was fortunate to not only catch an early glimpse of the trailer, which has also confirmed the DLC's date for June 21st, but also to sit down and talk with the man himself, Elden Ring director Hidetaka Miyazaki. Over the course of the interview, we discuss the details of Shadow of the Erdtree, some of the Elden Ring's bolder choices, his thoughts on potentially taking a step back from the director role in the future, and the state of the industry and how it relates to From Software.
I actually wanted to bring up something that I think you guys already know, but unrelated. You did hear about the Elden that From is going to do an Elden Ring mobile port, correct?
I don't know
what?
There's supposedly there's going to be an Elden Ring game for mobile.
Is it From Software?
Yeah, it's From's making it.
Well, I'm not sure how they'll accomplish that, but I send them my best regards and I'll send them my support.
So we're going to read the full interview below and make sure to check out the. Can I read the thing? So I'll read the question and you answer it, okay?
Okay, hold on. Before I say something, before you get there, I just want to say Miyazaki's saying he's going to step back from the director role, right?
Mm-hmm.
For a bit after all this. And, I'm a little bit concerned about that because the last time he did this, what came out of that.
Dark Souls 2, we know. I think I've hopped that game's. I've beaten that dead horse so much that at this point it's nothing but dust. There's no more horse.
I hope he leaves enough for them to, make something functional, but, after Dark Souls 2, it's a game. It's a good game and all, but
it's not a good Dark Souls game. I think the three of us have beaten that dead horse so much that there's no more dead horse.
Yes, it's a good game, but it's a flawed game.
I think it's at this point that basically the fact is, I keep saying it, I hate the fact I hate Dark Souls 2. And the fact is that if it was any other game, I wouldn't have given a second notice. But because it's part of the series that I enjoyed, I have to basically give it criticism. Anyway, besides that, I think I've had my grievances enough with that series for one lifetime. So, can you set the stage for us with Shadow of the Erdtree? Where is it taking place? And can you speak kind of generally regarding what the story is going to be about?
First of all, the setting of Shadow of the Erdtree is a brand new land. Its brand new maps separate the lands between. It is a land that is overshadowed by the particular Shadow of the Erdtree as opposed to the Erdtree in the lands between. It takes place again on an entirely separate, physically separate map, and it will involve a warp of sorts to get there.
So kind of like what every other Souls game is. They just warp to a new area. Can you expect that part?
In terms of setting and themes, it technically occupies the same space as the lands between, the same universe, but due to something story related to that we won't reveal today, that has become physically disconnected, and you'll travel to the Shadow of the Erdtree land as a separate place. So this land of Shadow itself is a place the player will visit to walk into the steps of Miquella. Miquella is a key part of the story this time. Perhaps as guessed by many players who saw the art that was released previously, that is in fact Miquella, and it is he who traveled to the land of Shadow, and it's the players who will be tracing his path and following in his footsteps, trying to see what he going to do there. And another aspect of the story is Queen Marika, or Marika, depending on your pronunciation, and what she did in the Land of Shadow, and what led Miquella to follow her there.
We all knew it was Miquella without writing for it. It was plain obvious because that character was the only part that basically fit it.
And would you look at this, a poll?
I think yes. Anyway, speaking of the new land that we're traveling to, how is it structured? Is it structured very much the same way as the lands between, where there are legacy dungeons and minor dungeons? Can you describe a little bit about how the world is going to be compared to the base game?
Yes. We think players can expect a similar experience to what they had with the base game. This is going to be structured in a similar way, as you said, with open field maps, with large-scale legacy dungeons, and with small to medium-scale legacies as well. So we hope players will enjoy this same sense of scale and sense of adventure throughout that structure.
Well, at least it's going to be fun. At least it's going to be the same old, which is always a good thing. Can you approximate the size of the world compared to the world of the base game?
Oh, well, it's hard to answer without giving away too much into a high degree of accuracy. But if you think in terms of scale size, it's probably comparable, if not larger, than the area of Limgrave from the base game.
That's actually kind of big if you think about it.
Hmm.
Limgrave could be its own game world on its own, but the fact it's gonna, kind of scares me. Oh, so you mentioned Mikola earlier. That's a character that I know fans have had a lot of questions about. We all have. Is there anything specific you can tell us about the role this character will play in the DLC? And I know the trailer opens with a shot of Mog's boast area when the hand hanging out of the cocoon. Will we learn about what Mog did to him?
Yes. The cocoon and arm you saw at the beginning of the trailer. That is actually the point of entry to the Land of Shadow, where the players will enter to the DLC area.
I told you so.
And this does have some relation to Mikola. And Mikola has, as we say, traveled to the Land of Shadow. He does have some motive and some objective there, which we don't want to give away too much, but essentially the player will be following in those footsteps in the same way that they follow the blessings from the grace, the sites of grace in the lands between.
I think we'll still have the sites of grace in the game.
They'll be following in Mikola's footsteps, and these will guide them through the Land of Shadow and reveal that motivation to them.
So it's called the Land of Shadows.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, anyway. I think we can read that part. There's all enemies that were related in the trailer. Blah 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 blah. And I'm going to do my best to describe them because I don't know the names of them. First of all, like a giant basket of flaming kindling.
Okay, so there's this giant basket of flame, and so eloquently put it, Mitchell, was a terrible weapon you used in a war that occurred in the Land of Shadow, basically. So again, without saying too much, we can't give away the name just yet, but yes, it was a really, really gruesome weapon that was used. And the kindling that you see is actually the remains of bodies that were put in there to burn. So there's that friendly fellow.
Oh, great. So it's basically a giant walking corpse.
Yes.
And then there was an absolutely terrifying worm with arms that eats people's holes. You saw that thing. That was horrifying. Ugh.
Yes, but it's hard to talk about some of these enemies without spoiling anything. Hopefully you understand. But there is a significant connection between these enemies, that the way that they are, and the Land of Shadow.
Okay, I'm just going to skip the last one if that's okay. But can you tell me about the main man in the red with snakes and flames, the kind of like the focal point of this DLC character? I'm actually curious.
Yes. We can speak to this character a little bit. This is, as you say, a key figure of the DLC. We believe he will be officially revealed to be Mesmer by the time the trailer goes live. And yes, he's a key figure in the DLC, and he again has this important element of shadow to him, which is a key theme throughout the DLC as well. And you have seen at the end of the trailer that there was this piece of key art where it shows Mesmer sat in his throne-like chair. And people who played the game may recognize this throne to be one of those from the boss room where you battle Morgoth. And this represents the thrones at the base of the Erdtree. And it's supposed to be symbolized that Mesmer stands on equal footing to these other demigods and children of America who sat around in these thrones and held the rooms of the Erdtree.
So you're telling me that this guy Mesmer is on par with, say, like Radon? Oh no.
So he is an important figure.
Is he a child of America? Like, that's something that I'm curious about.
It's possible, but the only two known childs of Merrick and Radagon were Mikola and Melina. But he's got the red hair like Radagon, so he must be related to him somehow. And he's definitely not a child of Ranala, because the confirmed childs are Pretar Rykard, Radon, and Rani. Wasn't there a fourth one?
Well, remember, Rani, Rykard, Radon. Well, but here's the thing, though, is that they do mention that other demigods have been slain. We haven't seen every single demigod, though.
Yeah, but
like, there's more unnamed ones.
Yeah, but Mesmer, if he was on par, wouldn't we have already heard about him in the main game? Like, just whispers? But again, this is Miyazaki, so I'm probably grasping at straws at that point.
Well, see, it's really interesting, because, usually, I remember, think about Dark Souls 1, we heard about Artorias.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
Artorias,
sort of what he did.
Yeah, there was talkings about him, like, oh, like why they were protecting Artorias' grave, or basically why things happen, etc., etc. We know of Artorias, and even far in the distant future in Dark Souls 3, Artorias' legacy still lives on as with the Abyss Walkers. Barely. But the point is, we've never heard of Mesmer till now. There was no mention of him in any of the item descriptions in the game, and he looks like he's just a brand new character. But even then, if you go to Dark Souls 3, characters like what was the girl Filianor, Filianor, Madir, and who's the other Madir and my brain's
Gale?
Gale. They were connected in some way to the main game. Like, Filianor was the daughter of Gwyn. Madir was an ancient dragon tasked to keep the abyss at bay, and Gale was basically there to eat the dark, so to give it to his his lady, painting the lady. But Mesmer, this is the first time we've heard of him.
Well, as to answer that question, the article says, so he's an important figure who rivals those of the other demigods. As you play in the DLC, you will learn a little about why he wasn't featured in the legends of the Erdtree in the lands between. You'll realize why he exists in this shadow, this land of shadow.
So what is he, basically like the shadow, like he's the opposite of the demigods, that he is not... Oh, this is actually an interesting one. Like how much did... I was curious to see how much role did Martin have in this one, so we could just skip to that one, if that's okay, Darc.
All right.
So, no, I meant like, you'd be fair that he Void missed that he hasn't written anything. So he hasn't written anything new for the DLC. So this is just nothing new. It would be fair to say that this mythos was created for the creation was the same way, and the reason for it is that making the base game and making Elden we took from mythos, but we only took one part of it. We took from a part that created the story. So basically, Martin had a lot of ideas, and then basically they stripped out the unnecessary parts, and now they're re-adding the unnecessary parts to be part of the DLC game.
All right. Well, so
it's fair.
It's been 2 years. Well, there's such a imagine it must be difficult with its content that can provide a challenge for those hardcore fans without making it too hard for some of the more casual Elden Ring players. Casual Elden Ring players, I love that notion. So, with all that said, how do you approach the difficult with DLC such as this?
Well, our general approach to difficulty has, of course, not changed to Elden Ring. We want to create a challenging experience that tests the players and that gives them a feeling of satisfaction and accomplishment when they go through these struggles. However, we do want to stress that there's still a freedom of approach and a breadth of strategy to these encounters. And that means both how you approach them if you want to face these challenges or come back to them later and circumvent them and find another way around and come back when you're ready. The same philosophy is taken in Shadow the Erdtree, and again, to our more hardcore players, they will find optional bosses who have been tuned in a similar way to the likes of Melania.
We're doomed!
The DLC bosses are just Melanias. What? Hold up, what?
Every single casual enemy is a Melania.
Every single DLC encounter is just Melania.
It's just there's Melania over there and Melania over there, and there's one coming towards me right now.
I swear, I was worried how they're going to top it, so I'm more mortified the fact that they couldn't top it.
So watch, they're gonna have a duo fight of just Melanias.
Two Melanias are fighting in the background, and you're basically horseback riding.
I hope, but I'm going to basically just say, nope, there are things I won't do. Ugh. Continue. Just shivering the idea. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, you might remember her. That's not crucial to completion of the DLC, but they are an optional extra to help challenge for those who are so inclined. That said, they may not be another boss on exactly the same level as Melania. Oh, okay. Woo! God. But we feel like this is where that we paid close attention to this level of challenge and offering that same level of freedom. Okay, and we hope that players are able to blossom in the land of shadow in the same way that they were in the lands between.
If you bring back
Actually, I want to redress that. It's not the fact there's only a lesser level to Millennia, but we prepared bosses on that with the same mindset within the DLC area. Ones that will challenge the player and hopefully be as memorable as Millennia was.
We're doomed, aren't we?
So are they? So is that a yes? Is that a no? Is that?
I said I don't know. It's basically, are there going to be bosses on Millennia's level, or are they basically going to be a little below her level, because it's still going to be a bit. Even if they're slightly below her level, she's going to be a pain in the ass.
All right. So final question.
The topic of the Shadow of the Erdtree. Do you envision this is the end of the Elden Ring story, or is there either more DLC or an Elden Ring 2 down the line?
We don't want to say this is the end of Elden Ring Saga for now. I think we said a similar thing at the end of Dark Souls 3. We didn't want to flatten those puzzles and put a pin in them and just at the time. It's a similar story with Elden Ring. We don't want to discourage the possibilities for that. There might be more ideas in the future. We don't have any current plans to make a second DLC or a sequel, but we definitely don't want to snuff out that possibility. We think that there could be, something in the future.
Well, at least I'm glad they're open to the idea, and I'm kind of glad that they did finish with Dark Souls 3. I know I'm going to be crucified, but I'm just glad they ended that saga. And I think the poetic end of it was kind of beautiful, don't you think? A new world being painted, and the only thing that will carry on to that new world is us.
And that is all.
And lastly, the state of the game industry right now is pretty rough. There's a lot of layoffs, studio closures. The PS5 apparently is already in the latter stage of its life cycle. Has the landscape of the industry changed your outlook at all on From Software's future?
Yes, I am aware of the situation the games industry it's going through right now is quite a harrowing. I think it's in terms of speaking to all those things that are happening, like layoffs and closures at the other studios, I think it's difficult for me to understand the exact circumstances there. I won't speak to those in specifics. Just speaking on behalf of From Software, I think we are very blessed in the way that we have a lot of keen up-and-coming developers who've grown and they have developed within the studio, and they've reached these director positions when they're able to direct projects such as recent Armored Core 6.
I'm going to be getting that game next week, so don't worry, everybody.
Oh, spoiler alert, everyone. It's a great game. Played it.
I'm going to get it next week, and then I'm going to play it. Don't worry.
So much fun. We have several of these up-and-coming directors who were able to delegate to these projects too, and we're able to have multiple projects on the go at once. What I foresee in this comment, at least for us, is From Software where games can be directed by others, not only oneself. I think in the face of that struggle and the place that where the game industry is right now, I do see this as a time for us to continue to grow and continue to cultivate this talent and continue to release these games for as long as we can.
Well, at least Miyazaki is unlike any other people who fire his employees. He's willing to actually try to keep them around.
Yes. I gotta say, these are beautiful visuals, right?
Yes, and I remember when, speaking of you-know-who that begins with a Q and ends with a V, a certain YouTuber who hates Elden Ring. I won't say his name because they say that if you say his name 3 times, he will come and content create your video.
We don't speak the Dark Lord's name.
Indeed. But anyway, I remember him basically saying that the other game that shall not be named, that basically was beginning with a H and had a legacy with it. You know the one, Darc? We agreed we wouldn't speak the name on streams, just to make everything better. But I can't mention it. But the point is that basically he was comparing that game's visual to Elden Ring's visual, saying that compared to Elden Ring, I'm paraphrasing. He basically quoted saying that the L visuals in that certain game was a lot better than this game. And I'm going to basically sit here and just basically watch that narcissistic, egotistical dimwit. Basically, yes, I called him that. Basically just continue just to basically on a downslide because he can't just accept that people like games that he doesn't like. And the fact is just because he couldn't complete the game doesn't mean anything. It just means the game isn't for him. I don't like Call of Duty, and I complain about it, but if people like the game, I don't give 2 flying rats about it. I've got better things to do.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so we've had a lot of discussions about this, a lot of visuals and a lot of fun. You can close the stream now.
Yes.
Oh boy, so much to talk about, so much things for us Souls fans that it's almost like an early Christmas for all of us, isn't it?
Yes.
Hi, Mister. It's just nice to basically have some content. You wanted to say something, Green?
Oh no, I was just saying when you mentioned the part about a game that begins with an H ends with legacy. I was like the one with wands with pew pews. That's what I was trying.
Yes, that was the one I was mentioning. A certain game with ones that go pew pew, which we've all agreed not to speak on stream because A, I like my channel and I don't basically need to endorse that certain game, if you know what I mean. And B, I think I would like to just keep my opinions on it. Zilch. I have my opinions on it, and I've expressed them somewhere else, but not on my stream. This is completely different. So if you want it, find my comments on Twitter. Or join my Discord, and you can have my personal opinions on it. These two know my opinions on it, but that's neither here nor there. And the other person we're talking about is, I'm just avoiding saying his name because he has a bit of a hair temples. If he was willing to take on someone big as, like, the Act Man, I stand no chance. You know who I'm talking about, guys, don't you?
He's back! He's back!
Yes.
God is back!
Must we really bring that? And then again, he did review it, so yeah, I guess it's fair. Alright, so final thoughts on this trailer, the game, and the interview we saw with Hidetaka Miyazaki.
I want it now!
I can agree. Could you post that meme? What was that? I think it was basically trying saying, "Shut up and take my money."
Shut up and take my money!
And that's basically us fans right now, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Green, your thoughts on the trailer and the DLC coming out next month? In the next 3 months?
The SpongeBob me. I don't need it. I don't need it. I need it.
Well, at least it's good. Well, at least, playing prediction the games again. Do you think the God of War fans are gonna basically saying, "Ha, the games, the DLC, we got DLC free. You have to pay for it."
I don't really think so, because, well, then again, I think that, like, a more of a discussion on that is comparing that to the Valhalla DLC. Because the Valhalla DLC did come out, and the thing is, I did play it. My God, it came free, and it was amazing, beautiful. And it gives a nice little bonus to the original God of War trilogy.
However, there's a however.
However, it was as it wasn't much of a big world exploring DLC. It was more of a dungeon-esque mini-boss Metroid endurance DLC.
Sounds fun.
Well, I mean, technically it was. It's telling you to get better at the combat itself, trying different weapons and such, and rewarding you with actual story stuff. So it's quite fun.
Didn't it show Tyr wielding a katana?
Yes, but he also does stuff from the Aztec region, the Egyptian region.
So can we confirm that we're going to go to Japan in the future God of War games? Oh, maybe
possible.
You know, it's funny. But I'll talk about that maybe in another stream. Anyway, if there's any more God of War news, we'll do that for a little bit. Nice little break for Souls for a second or two.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's everything we're going to be talking about. Excited news, everybody? At least we got that.
Mm-hmm. Very excited.
So we both agree. Excited?
Yes.
So, all right then, everybody. I appreciate this wonderful day. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are excited.
So, yes, I am.
All right, then. You know the drill. Thank you, my hunters, for joining me on this stream. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe down below, as usual. Links to my Twitter, Discord, Patreon, and PayPal are also down below. And if you'd be so kind, follow these two on their respective Twitter and YouTube channels. I left them down below as well, because I'm always that. And if you wish to donate, the Demon Slice Kickstarter is down below as well.
I'll say I gotta change that because I know the Kickstarter is not active right now, so I'll probably change it to like PayPal or something.
Okay, just send me the link. I will change it. But anyway, appreciate everybody for watching this, and thank you so much. I hope you have a good day, and may the good blood guide your way.
And fear the old blood.
Nothing.
Thank you all.
You're welcome.